Hey guys, Natalie here with Canine Performance. Do you have problems with grooming your dog? Can you not touch their neck or their paws? Do you have difficulties with your vet handling your dog? In this video, I'm going to be going over how to counter condition and desensitize your dog to some different grooming tactics. But before I start getting into this video, if you could go ahead and do me a huge favor and go ahead and smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. It really helps our channel grow and it helps other dog owners find our information. So in this video, you're going to need a couple of different equipment items. I'm going to be using a clicker for my marker whenever I am starting to work on these counter conditioning and desensitization. You're also going to need a leash. I like to use the elevated dog bed because it does have a defined boundary of where the dog needs to stay. You can just simply have your dog on the ground or use their regular bed, but I do like to use the elevated dog bed. You're going to need a food reward. I'm going to be using Kirby's Kibble as well as a higher value reinforcer. These are dehydrated beef treats that his dad dropped off with him. So the difficulty that Kirby has is that he doesn't like when his neck is touched, definitely not when his paws are touched or really any other part of his body. He has a really hard time having someone like his mom take care of him whenever he needs to go and do something, or his friends, because he's very touchy and he can be snappy very easily. So as you can imagine, this makes living life with your dog really difficult when they get really mouthy and nippy with you. So to break down the process of what it is I am going to do, the first step that I'm going to do is I am going to prime him for the clicker. We have already done 2 or 3 different clicker sessions, so he does have a vague understanding of what the clicker means, but I'm going to show you what that looks like, where I'm going to simply click and then I am going to reward. The next thing that I am going to do is I am going to start giving him affection that he is okay with, and then slowly and incrementally, I'm going to start moving my affection towards his neck that he is not okay with. Every time that I start to push just a little bit more, I'm going to click and then I am going to reward. I'm going to start doing that around his neck area and then other parts of his body. When we start getting to his paws, I am going to use a higher value reinforcer for that. I'm going to keep the session relatively short. This is something that you should work on continuously with your dog, have a lot of consistency with this. This is definitely something that if you do not use it, you will lose it. So I'll go ahead and get started. I'll show you the first step that you need to do. And I'm probably just gonna do this just like maybe like 5 to 10 times or so. Kirby. Sometimes I like to ask for eye contact. This is another great way that you can incorporate getting a lot more focus from your dog and start to have a more engaged exercise. Kirby, Kirby. Kirby. All right, 3 more reps of this, and then we'll go ahead and dive into the rest of it. There we go. Good job, bud. Alrighty. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and give him affection that he already is okay with. So just kind of giving him a little bit of affection just like that. As I start to move towards just the neck part of him, just right here, click, and then I'm going to reward. Good, that's a good boy, good job. He has a problem with people going under. Good boy. Good job, good. Good. And you'll see some displacement behaviors. A lot of the times when dogs don't like to be touched, you can see a lot of lipping and then also yawning as well. So it is my goal by the time that he goes home in about a week and a half, that he will have a lot more comfortability with being groomed. He'll have significantly less of those displacement behaviors of the lip licking and the yawning. These can be signs of stress. Good boy, good. So it's really important to take this really nice and slow. You don't want to rush this process a lot. This is something that I want to take really slow with Kirby because I want to build that trust and build that relationship. And so if I try and rush, really quickly and try and just automatically, go to holding his neck for a really long period of time, it's going to destroy that trust because I'm going to be infringing on his boundary too much and too quickly. So now I'm being able to move around the neck a little bit more. Good boy, good. Good job, good. Good boy, good. Gonna move down just a little bit more. Good. Good boy. He definitely doesn't like his back part of him being touched at all either. So now when it comes to starting to work on your dog's paws, especially for Kirby, he can be quite snappy with them. So I'll go ahead and show you how you can start incrementally building up to this. So this is when I'm going to use my higher value reinforcer. I just cut up some of his dehydrated beef treats. So make sure that he knows that I have a higher value reward for him. And all that I'm going to do is I'm going to start moving towards his paws first. I'm not even going to attempt to even touch his paws right now. I'm just simply going to show him that I anticipate and I'm going to start moving towards them a little bit. So when you are working with your dog, or perhaps you're a trainer, and this is something that you need to work on with the dog that you're training, I do like to hold the leash in my other hand, so that way if he does want to try to snap at my hand, I am going to give him a leash correction. So I'm going to show that I'm going to, then I'm going to click, and then just going to reward. Then I'm going to show I'm going to move towards his paws. And then I'm just simply going to do some light touches. In this first session, I am not trying to get to the point where I can fully hold on to his paw. That's something that as we go through this process, I'm going to start increasing my criteria of behavior and start pushing those thresholds a little bit more. I like that he gave me eye contact, so I'm gonna go ahead and just mark and reward for that because I liked that. Now I'm gonna move on to actually touching his nail part. Move on to the other one. A couple more reps of this, and that's what you should anticipate a first session to look like. I'm taking it really nice and slow so that way he doesn't feel the need to have to set his boundary, and then making sure that he knows that he is going to get reinforcement every single time that my hand starts to move towards him. Alrighty, and then that's the one that we are going to end on. So, if you have a dog that has issues and difficulties with being groomed, try this out at home. If you do not have a clicker, you can also substitute the clicker for the word good. So each time that I was clicking, instead you can just say good and then give the food reward from there. Make sure that you take this process really nice and slow. I can't emphasize that enough. If you are getting to the point that your dog is mouthing or snapping at you, you may be pushing it a little bit too quickly. This is a relationship building exercise, and it's something that does take quite a bit of time to build that up with your dog. So if you have any questions, go ahead and drop those below. I'll go ahead and answer those. But thanks so much for you guys for tuning in.